what's happening, guys? I'm Jim Ansell from the Real Deal Outdoors TV YouTube channel, and in this special edition of The Juice, we're going to cover a tactic that most anglers find themselves facing pretty much year-round, and that's fishing grass. We're going to show you guys 5 different ways that you can attack the grass with products that you can pick up right on shopkarls.com. So let's jump right into this video and check it out. Alright guys, so first off for our grass tactics, we're going to talk about fishing above the grass using the topwater frog. This is really some of the most fun that you'll ever have fishing, guys. And the first lure that we're starting out with here is the GOOGAN Squad Filthy Frog, a tough to beat frog imitator that induces epic topwater blowups. So the Filthy Frog is 100% weedless. It's got this narrow body design that's built perfectly for fishing around grass, mats, and the thickest slop that you can encounter. It has a weighted body, which is going to be perfect for you guys that want to cover a lot of water with this thing. You're going to get a lot of distance out of your cast, and that's going to make it a lot easier for you guys to fish an entire grass patch or field of mats. Now what you want to do when the water's warming up is look for shallow patches of grass to fish the Filthy Frog over. You're going to keep your rod tip down. You're going to apply quick twitches on slack line. That's going to give you guys that popular walk the dog style action that typically you only see with popper and spook style baits. The beauty of this is you don't have those treble hooks hanging off the bottom to get hung up. You just cast this bad boy out, you walk it back, and then get ready for some epic topwater blowups, guys. So next up, we're going to talk about one of your go-to grass baits. This thing has a lot of thump to it. It's going to call bass right in. It's perfectly designed for bringing through grass. That's your vibrating jig. You know, vibrating jigs like the Strike King Thunder Cricket are going to be perfect for when bass are active, when they're up shallow, and a lot of other anglers are out there throwing a lipless crank. This is actually going to be a great alternative to that presentation. And this is going to be especially true during the pre-spawn before that summer vegetation is fully grown. Now the Thunder Cricket features an intense pulsating action that's going to be perfect for around grass. It has a recessed head and a premium skirt which really help to maximize the action, and they give this bait a really enticing look. Now they say with a vibrating jig like this, low and slow is the way to go. What that means is you want to have steady winds to keep this bait low in the water column. Now one thing you'll want to note when you're ticking this through the grass is that oftentimes it'll feel like you have a bite when you really don't. So what you'll want to do to combat that problem, instead of really ripping into your hook set, is give a few rapid turns of the reel before setting the hook. That'll help you guys detect what's pulling on the rod. And finally, y'all, when you're thinking about trailers for the Thunder Cricket, I like to stick with paddle tails and swim baits. That adds a lot of extra thump to the presentation. All right, y'all, next up, we're taking a look at what's become one of my all-time favorite lures, and that's the Trashmaster jig. Now you can probably tell just by the name of this thing that it was made for bringing in and out of grass and weeds. It has a screw lock bait keeper on it, which allows you to text-pose your baits, and that's really what makes this jig truly weedless. Just screw on your favorite trailer like the BIOSPAWN 𝗏𝗏, then you can cast this thing into the slop without worry. Now one of the things that I love about this jig is that it's super versatile. You can fish this in a variety of different ways. You can flip this jig, you can pitch it, you can punch with this jig, you can just cast it out there and straight retrieve it back like a swim jig. This one really does it all. And the lack of a weed guard on this thing really allows you to bury your hook set, and it increases your hookup ratio, which makes fishing the grass that much more fun. So the Trashmaster jig, guys, really is the ultimate junk jig. You can fish this in any grassy situation, whether you got tall toolies, thick grass mats, dense muck. It's really going to be hard for fish to hide from this jig. All right, so the next thing we're taking a look at here is a tried and true classic, and that's the Gary Yamamoto Senko. You know, this lure is so versatile, I don't think there's any one specific best way to fish this thing. But here's a couple of ways that I really like to fish this thing. First off is Texas rigged. Now if you're gonna Texas rig this thing, you wanna use as little weight as possible, just enough to get it through the grass without actually killing the action. Now you really want your Senko to give off that famous Senko shimmy as it goes down through the water column. And if you put too much weight on there, what it's gonna do is it's just gonna sink like a rock. You want just enough to penetrate through the grass, especially when you're in deeper water. So it's going to be up to you guys to kind of experiment and figure out what weight works best. Now, if you're able to get away with it, the best way to go is to go weightless. And that's my other favorite way to fish this thing. You know, if I'm going to go weightless, I'm typically going to throw it on a wacky rig. Now, when you're fishing a wacky rig in grass, what you're going to want to use is light line and spinning tackle. Then you're going to want to keep your eye on your line because oftentimes it's difficult to detect bites. Sometimes you're not going to feel the bite. The first indication that you've got a fish is going to be that line just takes off and starts going. Now guys, Senkos could show up on every single list that we ever make for fishing any kind of a scenario. But throwing a Senko on a wacky rig around grass and mats, especially when you're bank fishing, is hands down one of the most productive fishing methods you can use. All right, y'all, last but not least, we've got an absolutely beastly combination for you guys. A belly weighted swim bait hook and a paddle tail. But to be more specific, we're talking about the owner beast hook and the BIOSPAWN ExoSwim. Now, rigging a paddle tail with a belly-weighted swim bait hook like this offers a few major advantages. The first is the most obvious, and that's when you're fishing around weeds and grass, this thing is totally weedless. You know, it's not gonna get hung up a whole bunch, and it's not gonna bring back great big gobs of salad when you bring it through the water column. Then another advantage is the placement of the belly weight helps the lure swim super straight. It also maximizes the kick that you're getting out of the paddle tail, even when it dives and when you're darting in and out of grass. Now, I like to throw this combination when the fish are a little bit more finicky. It gives them something to react to. All in all, guys, this combination is very effective, and when the bite is on, it's just a flat out fun way to fish. Well, that's gonna do it for this special edition of The Juice. Hopefully you guys will find this information helpful next time you're faced with a grassy situation. So listen, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the Mystery Tackle Box YouTube channel. It's gonna keep you guys up to date with all the new content being released by Mystery Tackle Box and Carl's Bait and Tackle. Also, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. That lets us know that you guys enjoy what's going on here. Then head down into the comments section, drop us a comment, let us know what your favorite bait was from this episode of The Juice. Finally, if you guys really enjoyed this video and you want to see more content just like this, head on over and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Real Deal Outdoors TV. We're going to leave a link right down in the description for you guys. As always, thank you all for watching, and tight lines until next time.